cover you up in rainbows, that's what. Welcome back. This is the second video in the Shapeshifters 2021 off-the-rack sale. We're going to start with a rundown of how to get your measurements and how to get your size, and then we're going to start in on the binders on the rack, starting from size 8. First thing to do, get your measurements. Take your chest measurement at the widest point around at your chest. Breathe in, take that number, write it down. Slide your measuring tape down, under chest, about there, breathe in, take that number, write it down. Finally, get your preferred length. We may not be able to match your length from off the rack, but it's still useful to know. If you set a tape measure at the center of your shoulder and bring it down over the front of your chest and figure out where exactly do you want it. Do you want it further down here? Do you want it all the way down past your waistline? Do you want it up here? I tend to go for about right there. That's what works for me. And now that you have your 3 measurements, you're going to take the first 2 of those, which is to say the chest and under chest. Take a look at this size chart. Pause the video here. Find your size, or the closest thing to it. If you're not quite sure and you're between 2 sizes, go down if you want something tight and up if you want something a little more loose and comfortable. They're very finely graded sizes. I find most people will be comfortable in 2 or 3 of our sizes. Personally, I waver between about an 8 1/4 and an 8 3/4, depending on, my day, the mood, how long I'm going to be wearing it, all sorts of things. Now that you've got your size, let's start. We're starting with binder number 30, which is a pride binder, and the length is 14 inches. Again, that's size 8. Number 31, also a size 8, is this snake print, which we have named Snorange. And we will not be stocking it in future, so it is discounted. It's 14 inches long. There's the back, there's the front. Number 32 is made from the leftovers of a custom print. Size 8, has a stiff insert in it, 15 inches long. This one is called Supernatural Symbols. 15 inches long, size 8, has a stiff insert, has all of that going on. I like this one in the very center back, just below the neckline. A good spot for it. Number 33 is a skin tone binder Madrone, size 8, 16 inches long. It's I'm gonna say a medium warm tan, and it's got a stiff insert in it. Size 8 Madrone. Number 34 is this nice Kelly green, size 8 1/2. Jumping up to 8 1/2, 14 inches length. No stiff insert, nice bright solid. Number 35, another skin tone, Poplar, is our lightest current skin tone. It is 15 inches long, and it's got low arms. And when the arms scoop that low, again, that's helpful if you find generally that binders tend to dig in or chafe you under the arms. Low arms. And it's got a stiff insert too. That was number 35, Poplar, size 8 1/2. Number 36 is a white mesh, size 8 1/2. It's 14 inches long, and it also has a stiff insert. This one would be really good for warm climates, high activity times, summer times, something that's firm in front and breathable in back. Number 37 is this, another fun thing made out of the leftovers from a custom print. called Fireflies at Night. It is 16 inches long, and it has a stiff insert in it. I'm really fond of this print. It's very artistic. I miss catching fireflies. Maybe next summer. That's number 37, size 8 3/4, with stiff insert. Number 38, Poplar. One of the first longer binders on the rack, 24 inches long. Oh, I was showing you the mesh back. This one has a mesh back. It's poplar on the front, and then the lining white mesh is the only thing on the back. So again, it's something that'll be like a nice even skin tone on front, and then breezy, breathable, mesh only back. It's got a doesn't it have a stiff insert? Yes, it does. Stiff insert in front. Got a nice length and a flare down at the last 5 or 6 inches of those 24 inches, which is great for folks who want it to come over their hips. Oh, also has low arms and a low neck. This really would be a good exercise binder. Disclaimer, as always, exercise in a binder, if that's something you know you can do, you will only know if that is a thing that you can do if you test it carefully, slowly, in a controlled environment, and stop if it doesn't work. I'll do a whole video about exercising and binding some other time. But for now, we're moving on to number 39. This is a snurple. The length of it is 31 inches long. I'm sure it's the longest one on the rack. It's got a nice hip flare. Snurple is this wonderful, shiny purple reptile. I don't want to say snake skin, maybe crocodile looking skin. And this one has a side zipper and a stiff insert. And now, number 40 is also size 9, moving into size 9. This one is called Teeth, and it is a length of 16 inches. Size 9, beautiful rows of white teeth on a gray background, crop top with a stiff insert. I know some of you are like yelling right now and saying this is exactly my aesthetic, and those of you who are out there, you are not alone. Whenever we have a tooth print, it goes. So yeah, pick that up if you want it, because it's gonna go fast. Number 41 is a Poplar, size 9 1/4 with a stiff insert, 22 inches long. It's a straight cut down the side, so this is definitely for someone with a long torso. Stiff insert in front, size 9 1/4. Number 42, we call this fabric jellyfish tears. It is the blue equivalent to unicorn barf. It's this wonderful blue reflective rainbow. Size 9 1/2, no stiff insert, 18 inches long. Number 43 is a white mesh binder, size 9 3/4. It is 16 inches long, and it's got a stiff insert in it too. We're getting into the land of white mesh binders, which I made for an experiment at some point, and then just had on the rack ever since. Number 44 is another white mesh binder, size 10, length 17. Number 45 is not white mesh, it is solid white, which is to say it has a layer of flat white spandex over it. This is not as translucent as white mesh. If you have concerns about being a little bit see-through in the front, then a plain white mesh binder with no stiff insert is not for you. This is. So, solid white, size 10, 19 inches long. This one also has a front zipper. I'll put it under a low temperature iron and get those creases out. I think it was just sat in the bottom of a bin for a while. Yeah, front zipper. Here it goes. Number 46 is a white mesh, size 10 with a stiff insert, 16 inches long. There's that stiff insert. A stiff insert will also keep a mesh binder from being translucent because there's just this solid thing right across. But without it, it's a little risky. I wouldn't go swimming in one. Number 47 is chestnut mesh. The length is 22 inches. Oh, and this is a size 10 and a quarter. The last one was the size 10s. This is size 10 and a quarter. Chestnut is a lighter brown than Laurel, though not by much. Let's see if I can pull Laurel back out to show you. There's Laurel and there's Chestnut. Chestnut is definitely a lighter brown. I would say they're both on the warm side, though Chestnut has more orange in it. And it's a mesh-only binder, which means it's more breathable than the solid colors. It's got wide straps, which is better for folks who find that the straps of your binder might cut into your shoulders. It's got a low neck, and it's size 10 and a quarter. Number 48 is another white mesh, size 10 and a quarter, with a stiff insert, length 16 inches. There are no 10 and a halves this time, I'm sorry to say. The next one is a size 10 and 3/4, and it is a black try-on binder with stiff insert, 16 inches long, and that is number 49. And then we have a skip in sizes, just because that's what's available these days. The next one up is a size 12. That is a Snickster, is what we call this fabric, with that nice iridescent sheen. It's what I decided Double Trouble was made out of when I did that. Size 12, front zipper, and a racerback cut. Super easy to wear and get into. A really interesting texture because the shininess of it is not evenly applied. That is number 50, and it is 23 inches long. Next one up is another white mesh, size 12, length 15 inches, and that's number 51. That's the back, that's the front. Number 52 is a poplar, size 12, pretty long one with a very gentle flare, size 12, length 29 inches. It says here it's got narrow straps, which I think is as narrow as we proportionally make them for this size. Number 53 is a size 12 and a quarter. It's a solid black. It was one of the try-on binders. And that also has a stiff insert. All the try-on binders, I believe, are 16 inches long. Yep. Again, the difference between a try-on binder and any other binder is it was intended for events. It may have been tried on at an event sometime in 2019 or earlier. It has since been thoroughly laundered. We've discounted it, and it has the size marked in Sharpie on the little cloth tag there. A full deck of binders we've gone through. And this beautiful pride is number 54. It is 29 inches long, again with the narrow straps. Just cover you up in rainbows, that's what. Looks like it's got a gentle flare to hold hips or belly or anything. Here's number 55, a black binder with a low neck and a racerback cut at size 13 and a quarter. It is 30 inches long. Has what I would call a generous hip flare. Someday I'm going to get hangers that will properly display all of our sizes. Someday. And that, at number 55, was the full range of binders for sale in this year's Off the Rack sale. The next video is going to go over the limited selection of sports bras we have in stock, and then after that we'll have a fun extra. See you later.